Ladies and gentlemen, mostly gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Rough Week Podcast.
Welcome back, shawties. Welcome back, cutie pies.
Hey, welcome back, baby girl.
Welcome back, shawties.
Yeah, man, you know we missed the shawties.
Well, you know, how y'all doing?
How y'all doing?
How y'all doing?
I love when you do that. I love when you do that.
We got a comment for light skin Christophe.
Yeah, light skin Christophe.
Hey, yo, what's good, y'all? What's good with y'all, shawty? Man, shit. So good to be back with y'all beautiful, beautiful angels. Damn. Y'all was trifling for a minute, but you back on my good list. Light skin Santa. I know you on a naughty list this year, but that's okay with me. Oh, how you doing, bud?
I'm good, dude.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm good. I was in San Francisco.
Nice.
Yeah, it was
Meeting back up with the boys.
in San Francisco.
Seeing the fellas.
Yeah, see my old buddies.
Running back with the old crew.
Yeah, with my old crews. There's an old group of friends I had. Just, you know, kind of you lose touch with people.
Fellas you haven't seen in a long time.
Yeah, fellas I haven't seen in a long time. You know, we text, we DM.
You miss them.
I missed them. Yeah.
Sending funny pics to each other.
Yeah, just fucking jokes. Obviously weird.
Yeah, just
weird, like dumb texts. Me and my buddies.
just little silly things. The San Francisco crew. I get it, man. Yeah, I get it, man. I know what kind of stuff you're into, but
dude, it doesn't even feel gay there anymore. It's just psychotic.
it's just not text, tech.
It's fully, dude.
Homelessness and tech coexisting.
Where my lady's family's from is called the Sunset. That place is great. You'd love it. It's full, like, it's like prettier Queens.
Yeah, nice.
It's Queens in California by the beach.
Pretty sick.
But it's fully like Chinatown, fully Asian.
Well, okay.
Awesome.
Wow.
Mom and pop Asian, like a million Asian restaurants. And little like Asian
sick.
bodegas and whatever, bars. Yeah. And then like Irish pubs, weirdly.
Okay.
It's very Queens.
That sounds cool as hell.
It's awesome. I love it. And so we're there most of the time. It rules. I like it a lot. But I met my buddy in actual San Francisco. It's crazy that's going on.
Yeah.
Dude, we're walking down the street. We just met up in San Francisco, and we were like, let's get some dinner. I haven't seen you in a while. We fucking parked the car, and we're just like walking around on like a Friday night, and this is the middle of San Francisco. Nobody's out except for homeless psychopaths.
Okay.
And like
Jesus.
guys are like, man, what's up?
Whoa.
What's up? Like
I don't
yelling
even
at
like
us,
your
dude.
impression of
No, it's a fucking. It was like spooky.
Yeah.
Dude, we're like walking by a bus station, and there's like a white kid with long hair, fully talking to himself and making himself like howl laughing. He's
having a good time.
He's having a great time with himself. He's like, "Oh, Steve!" He's like dying laughing. And dude, there were so many homeless guys. We just ducked off into like the first restaurant we saw after walking for like 15 minutes. We're like, "Fuck this." We walk in. Dude, it's like a borderline Michelin star, unbelievable fusion restaurant, and it's
Weird.
like full of yuppies. I'm trying to think of like a movie. It's like
The Menu.
Yeah, or like it reminded me of like Monsters Inc.
Yeah.
Where like you're like falling to your death, and then you open a door, you're just in like a cute bedroom. Or
Yeah.
It's like a port. All these
like a
restaurants,
portal.
The front doors of these restaurants are like portals.
Portals into the wealth.
Dude, you walk in and they're like, it's like
Hi.
a cute, non-binary fucking Indonesian guy, and he's like, "Hey guys, nice to meet you." And he like sits you on like some beautiful Scandinavian piece of furniture. And then you get like this weird, delicious
like roasted
fusion.
quail.
Dude, it was like fusion tapas, half Asian, delicious food. And everybody in there was like an in shape, half Asian, yuppie tech, distance runner. And then and we're just
outside,
like,
there's just havoc,
dude. And it was so busy there,
Yeah.
that we had to sit on the window. So we're sitting in the window of this beautiful restaurant, eating this phenomenal food with all these like gender queer Microsoft software engineers, whatever. And we're like looking through the window at Mad Max.
Yeah.
It's bizarre.
What is the genesis of this?
The homeless problem?
Yeah.
I think the pandemic made it way worse.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's honestly just like bad left-wing policies.
Yeah.
Because there's
So
solutions.
the idea is we're not going to just move these people.
They don't move them,
They
no.
don't remove them.
And they don't, like, there's also no cash bail reform. So, like, you know.
So you don't get, when you get arrested, it's just like you walk in, you walk out.
They decriminalize, like, theft under a certain amount. So you can just, like, run up in a CVS and bash stuff open and take stuff. And they're not going to pursue you. And then no cash bail means, like, yeah, you just get out. Yeah. And then it's like, okay, be back for your court date in 6 weeks. Yeah. And it's like, this guy's...
Dude,
thinks he's Jesus Christ.
I don't know if it's like that in Austin, but I know it's a big thing within, and I don't know where they sell it, but they obviously have like a fence, connection, but they go into CVS and they steal makeup. Yeah. It's like a big thing. They steal, they just, so if that's like not illegal there, they probably just walk into CVS, load up, and just walk out.
Yeah, it's like decriminalized.
Right.
It's like I guess it's illegal if they catch you in the act. If a cop is in CVS,
and catches you and goes, and then they go put it back.
Yeah, exactly.
And they go, all right, you got me. Yeah, I don't know, dude. I've been thinking about this a lot, like in earnest. Like, how do we solve? Like, what do you do? And I think the only thing you can really do is you'd have to spend so much money it'd be ridiculous
to solve homelessness.
If you wanted to go to every major city and never see a homeless person, you'd have to spend like $1 trillion. It would have to be this whole industry of like doctors, nurses, caretakers.
Well, you mean like solving their problems as well as society's problems?
No, I literally mean taking them off the street and putting them into a facility where they're taken care of. Like they'd need, like it'd be like 1-to-1. For every homeless person, they need like a nurse.
Yeah.
For every homeless person, there'd be one employee.
Yeah.
There's no way one is watching 10,
I for sure. I think a lot of them.
Each one of them would cost $180,000 a year, plus whatever infrastructure is in place.
I think more of them used to be in jail.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Like, just straight up.
No, you're right.
More of them were locked up.
You're right.
Not that I want people to get locked up.
Right, it's a tough thing.
The cost of living.
Because they don't need to be locked up. Like they don't literally need. That's not what they need in their lives.
No,
they need like lithium and a shower.
I will give the libs credit for the cost of living thing because when you go to like London or Paris, there's not a shit ton of homeless people. Like in Europe, there are some, but not like our cities.
Yeah,
and
it's crazy.
It's way easier to get whatever their version of
public
the dole,
housing,
welfare. That type of stuff. Like almost every comic I've met from London is just on welfare.
Yeah.
Just chilling.
Right.
Like half the
country. I think I could get food stamps if I asked.
Here.
Yeah.
But like there, I think that the government will just give you money.
Yeah.
I think at a certain point. It's not that hard to get government money. And I think there's probably more public housing. I don't really know about the housing thing.
Yeah.
But I bet their psychos have apartments.
Probably.
But
yeah, maybe. It's interesting though. It's like, can you imagine any of these guys like in an apartment? Well, there's a lot of them I see in downtown Austin where I don't think you could handle like a, you know what I mean? Like maybe that's wrong.
I don't know. What if you
some
took
of them, the ones with tents for sure.
If
the ones with tents, you could go to an apartment.
If you could pitch a tent,
if you could pitch a tent,
keep your electric bill on.
You could fucking turn on a light switch and slip a cot.
If you could pitch a tent, you could
have a gas
for your kitchen.
You
floor.
could have a gas range. If you have a tent,
work your way around a microwave.
Yeah, you can figure that out. You can figure out the cup of noodles.
That should be the policy. If you can prove to us that you can pitch and live in a tent, we'll give you an apartment.
Right. So,
but if you're just one of these sidewalk guys, no shot.
No, I mean, there's so many sidewalk guys.
There's a lot of sidewalk.
There's so many sidewalk guys.
I bet some of them could handle an apartment. The lady with her tits out who wears a diaper,
right?
She probably's. She's not gonna keep.
But how many? What is she? 1 in 10 homeless is like that.
There's a lot of.
I feel like half are just like they're definitely psychotic, but they're more on the drug addict side of things. You can tell when they're like, oh, you're like a fentanyl person, you're like a meth person.
Yeah.
There's also a lot of
them who are like they're like a little alarming,
but they're lucid,
and they're not mean.
No,
they're not that mean. They like hang out outside the gas station.
Have you seen the mean guy with the big hump on his back?
There's a mean guy there's a mean humpback walking around here.
There's a mean humpback around here. You got to be careful out there. He's mean as a snake.
It's like a medieval town villain.
Yeah, completely. He lives under the bridge.
Have you seen the mean humpback?
He's a mean humpback, and he multiple times has just walked behind me like, hey, motherfucker!
Hey, let me give you a piggyback ride.
Hey, check my hump. There's treasure inside that motherfucker.
Hey, man, ride me like a horsey.
I'll put water in it. I'm a fucking camel, motherfucker. I'll just cross the Serengeti, motherfucker.
Man, you can balance pots and pans on my back. Give me a shot. See, look at that, man.
Oh, man, I'm on the Silk Road,
Man,
bitch.
Stack of dinner plates right there on my back. Like that.
So he just follows you around yelling shit about his hump. So that guy's scary, bro.
It's hump.
Yeah.
It's hump day. Every day's hump day. It's hump day, motherfucker.
You seen that guy go commercial? Funny.
Yeah.
So that guy follows me around sometimes. I don't like him. But I think like 1 in 10 are like that.
Yeah.
You know, they're crazy and mean and just whacked out. But I think the majority of them are just like
drug addicts.
And if you're a stimulant addict, that'll just make you crazy.
Yeah.
If you're up for 4 days on meth, you're crazy. You would be like, oh, lock this guy up. He's fully psycho. And then if he's sober for meth for 30 days, you're like, okay, he's 10% as crazy.
That's that guy, Carl Hart. That's his thing. You know Carl Hart?
Yeah.
The black dude?
Yeah, who just likes to do heroin every now and again.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
His big thing is that he's a big he's kind of a quack, but he thinks that you just need to sleep. He thinks that the biggest problem with people losing their minds is not sleeping.
Dude, if you're a fucking meth addict, he's 100% right.
I heard Marin talking about when he used to do blow.
Yeah,
and he said that's what drove him crazy.
Yeah, you stay up for 4 days. I mean, I've done, like, I was doing stimulants over a weekend, just Molly, and it makes you not sleep well. It wasn't like I wasn't sleeping at all. It would be like, it was at Bonner Tuesday, you're sleeping at 10. It's like a nightmare. But I think over the course of 2-3 nights, I got like 8 hours of sleep a night. Or no, 8 hours of sleep total. So it was like 3 hours here, 2 hours here, 3 hours here, you know? And I started hallucinating.
Really?
Yeah, I started hallucinating.
You seeing shit?
Yeah.
It's so fucked, dude.
And it's like, that was just 3 nights of bad sleep on some drugs.
Yeah.
You know? So can you imagine if I was abusing meth? I'd be fully insane.
Yeah. No, the times I've stayed up all night partying.
Yeah.
The day that is the next day, but you're still
weird,
up.
freaky.
I always feel like I'm on the verge of like a massive panic attack.
Yeah.
/ like depressive episode.
Like a psychotic break.
Yes. Like I'm just teetering on the edge of like fucking losing it.
Like everything's weird as fuck.
Yeah. And I'm like, let's go get a beer. I just have a beer, chill out.
Yeah.
Smoke a cigarette, drink a beer.
No, I was driving home.
Even out. You're like, no, you need like 11 hours sleep.
Yeah. I was driving home from Tennessee to Florida, and I started seeing. I think I've nodded off at the wheel. Not good. Don't do that. But what woke me up was that I thought someone was running next to the car, going 80 miles an hour on a highway.
Just Usain Bolt's next
yeah,
to the
Usain
car.
Bolt's next to me. And then I looked at the shadow of the car. Like, you know, sometimes you can kind of see the shadow of your car.
Yeah.
It looked like the shadows of a man, like, running. It looked like a man sprinting. And then I looked at all the other cars. They all had shadows. They all looked like men running.
Dude.
Yeah.
Oh, this would have bugged me out.
It scared the shit out of me.
I would have had to pull over.
I did.
Yeah.
And,
Nice.
well, the thing is, like, I had 2 buddies with me who were passed out in the car. And I go, hey, one of you guys got to drive. I'm fucking exhausted. I can't do this.
You got some sleep.
Yeah. And then I just went to sleep there. That was in, like, fucking, you know, that was in, like, Georgia or something.
But I think even a guy seeing men running next to a car could hold down a studio apartment.
Yeah, you're right. I could have held down a dude.
You right?
But if I was like that all the time,
That would
no
suck.
way.
It would suck.
There's no way.
But I think crazy people could handle, like a lot of crazy people could handle like a studio or one bedroom.
That's what I think though is like if they're like, imagine that, but they're also medicated. That would be ideal.
We should just like let them have their own neighborhood with housing. They should have their own projects, like the projects for lunatics.
That's what my solution is the projects for lunatics.
I kind of like the projects for lunatics,
but I'm like, how expensive is that? It's got to be crazy.
Sure, I mean they have fucking.
But the projects, don't they pay? This is a dumb question, but you pay rent in the projects.
Yeah, but like
it's
very
like nothing.
little. Yeah,
but I don't know if these guys. You think these guys can pay rent? I don't hold down a job.
I say we make some shitty towers, with a bunch of studio apartments, and just fill it. And like you have to be over a certain level of insanity to even qualify.
Yeah,
you have to go. You're a lunatic.
Yeah, there you go. What's this Rorschach
enjoy
picture?
Your new home.
Yeah, you go. You're in.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, no, I agree. But that's essentially a hospital, is what you're describing. You're describing a long-term, like, outpatient hospital for the rest of your life. It's expensive, bro.
I'm kind of talking. I'm talking like a prison with no guards, but still kind of walls.
This is a hospital.
Like if we did like
they call this a hospital.
Like
it's
like Gaza for the homeless.
Yeah, it's a mental institution. It's an open air prison for the psychotic.
This is kind of what I'm saying.
Yeah,
but I don't think we need nurses or guards. We just need a pretty sturdy wall, and then like a couple guys at the wall.
Yeah, so some out front. But what do they do out front? Make sure no sane people go in?
You could tour it if you're sane.
That could be like almost like a haunted house that you could charge.
And then you make,
And they can touch you.
And it's revenue for the city.
You got to sign a waiver.
Yes.
You give me $80.
Yeah, for sure. If you're like a goth chick who wants to be spooked.
Right.
You know what I mean?
For goth chicks.
Kind of masochistic weirdo.
Yeah. They probably need some fucking babes there.
Killer Halloween revenue.
Big titty goth GFs in there. Like, did that guy touch you?
Yeah.
Cool. I'll protect you if you want to walk around the mental institution with me.
There's a gift shop where you can buy like coffee mugs shaped like a human shit.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a great idea. Meth
you can
pipes.
buy like a scraggly foam finger.
Yeah. You can like get a signed meth pipe by the craziest guy.
Exactly. This is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's like Harry Potter world for the psychotic.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
This is a great idea.
Harry Potter world for the psychotic.
And you make it nice like their open air prison.
You should write this novel.
Yes, their open air prison is a great book. Their open air prison is nice inside. Like you give them parks and benches and like you give them like a community pool.
But you got to have a whole staff to take care of it.
Nah, just let it go to whatever it goes.
it's going to be filled with diarrhea in 2 days.
But that's
what
they want.
Part of the charm.
It's also their decision if it's full with diarrhea.
They've never made a decision in their lives. They are not a decision-making
entity. I would argue
entity.
that they make more decisions on a daily basis than we do.
They don't make a single decision.
They make decisions every 2 minutes.
They're a ghoul. They're embodied by mental illness. They are not not that they're not people, but they've lost a good amount of their free will.
They're definitely going to build a church for themselves.
Some sort of temple.
Homeless people love God.
Really?
Oh, dude, I was on my bike the other day, just whipping around on 2 wheels.
Yeah.
I was at a red light, like a crosswalk. Dude, this guy comes up and he's like, I just smiled at him. I was like, hey, man, how's it going? And he goes, you laughing at us, man, but we laughing at y'all. I was like, I'm not laughing at you, man. He goes, okay. He's like, honestly, at the end of the day, it's just all glory goes to God, the man above. You know, like we judge by him. The final judgment day, and he just starts going off. And I'm like, but he seemed half happy.
Yeah.
Like he wasn't that mad. And I was like, it's like a sunny day and you're just praising God. I guess this is your thing.
Could be worse.
But this is, I'm like, I was like, I bet a lot of them.
If it's 60 degrees and sunny and you have religious fervor.
I think a lot of people who lose it get really into God, though, too.
Yeah, 100%.
Totally. Like,
of course.
When I used to, like, crazy people, when I would interview crazy people, the crazy people we would talk to, like, half of them would just have a Bible. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
It kind of goes hand in hand with lunacy.
Yeah.
Is like hardcore religious.
Yeah. Well, have you ever heard the thing about, like, vertical and horizontal thinking?
No.
That, like, vertical thinking is like someone who's, like, autistic, where, like, it needs to be exactly the same. Like, things are not, there's no tangents. Everything is related exactly to another thing.
Yes.
There's no tangents, you know?
Yeah.
Whereas, like, psychotic people, it's like A is to B is to C is to D, you know, and then you end up in some crazy thing, but you can kind of you can kind of retrace what they're, but
like
it doesn't.
crazy, like autistic people have no imagination.
Right.
Crazy people have an
all
overactive
imagination.
one. Yeah.
Exactly.
It's kind of why they're great artists.
Yeah, that's why there's like a lot of crossover with
Yeah.
the bipolar guy who fucking makes something you can't believe exists. And
Yeah.
you're like, yeah, I mean, his brain works on a different fucking,
Frequency.
totally different frequency.
Yeah.
So that's like the horizontal thing, and I think mythology really appeals to that because they're all abstractions. They're all myths. They're all like symbolic stories. Like symbols are very important to the schizophrenic.
Crazy people see signs in everything.
Right.
Yeah.
So if you read a Bible, it's nothing but signs.
Yeah, like did you ever like Pro Era, like Joey Badass or anything? Like the guy Capital Steez,
Yeah,
great
exactly.
rapper, but he had that whole 47 thing. He was obsessed with the number 47, and all his friends were doing it, and all their fans were doing it. And there's like all this 47 merch, and I was like, it's kind of fucked up. That,
You're
this
playing into
man's
this
schizophrenic delusion became merchandise.
It is kind of fire though.
It's kind of sick for
There's
like,
something kind of fire about
like straight like literal schizo branding.
Yeah, schizos have great branding.
Yeah. And the 47 looks cool on hats and stuff.
Yeah, 47's a cool number. It's like aesthetically a good number.
Yeah. He thought it had to do with everything. He thought everything was connected to the number 47. I'm like, that's a full psychotic break.
Yeah, completely.
Then I jumped off a building.
Yeah.
But people are still rocking the 47 shirts.
Rest in peace, Capital Steez.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of them get convinced into suicide, too, by these thoughts.
Yeah.
They're like, I have to do that. Like, it's not even like, I don't even know if it's like a depressive thing. But I could be wrong.
I knew a guy that knew him, and he said he wasn't as happy as their fan base thought.
Okay.
That he was kind of depressed. I think he's manic depressive.
Yeah, I was, like, interested about schizophrenia for a while, and there's, like, some weird stats about schizophrenics. They love cigarettes, like, way more than non-schizophrenics. Like, I think a third of schizophrenics smoke cigarettes.
Really?
Yeah, whereas only, like, 4% of the population smokes cigarettes now or something. It's like a crazy number.
I wonder if they're just outside a lot. And they're like, I need something to do.
They just like pacing.
Yeah.
So they love cigs and they're left-handed way more.
Okay. Crazy.
Just like weird stats about them.
That's crazy.
Yeah. They're more left-handed and they love cigs. Also, the way they talk, they tend to not have emotional like tone. They tend to be like more like talking like this. Like they have like a monotone structure to their speaking.
Just describing Gardini.
Is he left-handed?
If he hits the trifecta.
He loves cigs. Yeah. So they tend to talk like this.
At the end of the day, all the glory goes to God. We just judge by the man above.
Have you guys noticed the number 47 everywhere?
Yeah, I see it on stop signs, beer cans. 47.
Yeah. There's another one I'm thinking of. Oh, and then they tend to withdraw because they're so stimulated, which I thought was interesting.
Like,
they tend to like avoid socializing and avoid crowds and like stuff like that because it's hyper stimulating for them. Like that's what's like they're not like misanthropic or they're not like they're
just overwhelmed.
They're just overwhelmed super easy. And I think it's like part of that symbol thought. If you see symbols everywhere and then you're in a big crowd, it's like it's probably like fucking being on acid.
Like I'll just hang in the living room where there's exactly 11
the same
symbols.
shit.
The same 11 symbols.
Yeah. You go, all right, back to the pillow symbol. We're good. We're good.
Yes.
We're good.
The clock looks like a holy trinity, and I know that.
Yeah, and I know that.
That's
all the numbers add to 47. They don't. Yeah, so it's like shit like that where you're like, I don't know. It's just such weird, specific things.
It also makes sense that like weed and psychedelics brings it out of people.
Oh,
I've like
100%.
I've just been on mushrooms and I've just been experiencing exactly what you're describing.
Right, the symbols thing is very strong on psychedelics.
Yeah, when you think that you're having an epiphany, and then when you sober up, you're like, that makes no literal sense. Mm-hmm. Like some of them do, and some of them are just gobbledygook.
Right,
it's just gibberish in your brain.
Right. Well, have you heard the whole thing about
synapses are crossing it? Your neurological pathways.
There's a line culturally it's like mental illness is like this sort of cultural phenomenon where certain cultures in the past have like had like not witch doctors, but almost like I guess shamans or like religious figures, you know?
Yeah.
And now if you had that guy here, you'd be like, he's schizophrenic.
Yeah.
You know? Like, he almost had this dedicated role as, like... And there was also a thing I heard, I forget where it was, but somewhere in the world, there was, like, a tribe. I want to say it was Africa, but that's just because I hear the word tribe and I think of Africans. But that their schizophrenics tend to talk to dead people.
Interesting.
And our schizophrenics have, like, made-up shit. Like, they have, like, unique characters. Whereas, like, there's a cultural connection that a lot of schizophrenics have in this particular ethnic group.
Yeah.
So they're almost lauded as these people who can talk to ancestors. Like, there was a guy, I remember, it was like some video, he said he could talk to his grandfather. He talked to his grandfather all the time. And you're like, well, obviously not, but... There's no one doing that really here. It's like, there's the Spider-Man and he follows me. You know, he's like paranoid and insane.
Yeah, we kind of gave them a raw deal that we stopped believing that.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You know? Kind of sucks for schizos.
Right, because there's no mysticism in our culture.
No, like 1,000 years ago, these guys on 6th Street could have been tribal shamans.
Yes, exactly.
And now they're just lunatics.
It's cool, if you think about it, like, in a certain point in history, we stopped doing that. But for most of human history, there was an assumption that there was a mystical element to the universe. We just assumed there were ghouls, you know, there were goblins and ghouls and ghosts and, you know what I mean? Like, and there was gods riding chariots in the skies. You know, we all knew that. We all just walked around going, yep, I know that.
Yeah.
And then so if someone was like, I can hear them talking, you know, it's like
Dude,
more
if we
believable.
still believed in goblins and ghouls, we wouldn't need Deadpool 8.
That's true.
There wouldn't need to be a new like Superman versus Robin movie.
I think in a lot of ways, entertainment has usurped what God used to be.
Yeah, there's no House of the Dragon.
No.
If we all believe in, you know, fucking
it'd almost be
ghosts.
it'd almost be boring. Be like, that's not as good as like Zeus.
Yeah.
Like Zeus is fire. It's kind of like a boring version of Zeus.
Yeah. This guy Captain America's just a shitty Hercules.
Yeah, exactly.
We already have real Hercules.
Right.
I don't need this.
Why am I hearing?
Made up.
Right. Hercules is, first of all, Hercules is real.
Yeah. First of all, we have Hercules, and you just dressed up Chris Evans.
First of all, there is
That's
a half
gay.
man, half fish. He lives underwater. He rules the seas.
Yes.
So I don't know what this Aquaman queer is
Yeah,
doing.
get Jason Momoa out of my fucking face.
Get lost, dude. I think there's a weird thing too. Like you see it in Pixar movies now. You have Moana, which is like just mythology.
Yeah.
And then you have Coco, which is just mythology. Like there's a few things where they just took them from like obscure ones, and they're like, we're just gonna do that. So it's like funny. It is like a Jordan Peterson thing, which he probably is correct about, but it is just like Pixar movies just borrow mythology.
They're just plagiarizing dead schizos.
Yeah. Lion King's just Hamlet. You know.
Yeah.
They just copy shit and just make it like for kids.
Yeah.
They're like, what if it's like so it's kind of patronizing in a weird way. But they're like, what if Hamlet was for babies? And then it makes $1 billion. It's everyone's favorite movie.
Somebody that started What If Hamlet Was for Babies, and now it's like, what if the Hamlet for Babies was also for all of the adults?
Oh, yeah. Fully, it's just come into not being weird to be like obsessed with baby movies. Yeah. But the thing, the baby movies are really good. Coco is amazing.
Rules. Coco
it's
absolutely
incredible.
Rules.
It's an amazing movie.
Yeah.
I love it. Up is fire.
Up's amazing.
Up is fire.
Wall-E rules.
Wall-E's a fucking slam dunk.
Banger.
I'm
seeing Anora tonight.
Beautiful. What?
Going to see Anora.
Oh, I love Anora, dude. You're going to love it.
I don't know anything about it. I'm psyched I'm going in like that.
Dude.
Don't even tell me.
I'll just say the two main characters are so fucking good.
All right. I'm psyched.
There's a guy and a girl. They're so goddamn good.
This is my new thing is I want to go in totally blind.
I love going in blind.
Blind. I went about it.
Yeah, I went in pretty blind to A Real Pain. Fucking horrible. But, you know, what are you going to do? There's this movie I saw. It was actually really fun, but It was called Special Darling or something like that. I don't even remember.
You were telling me about that Scandinavian movie?
Oh,
Norwegian?
Another Round?
Yeah.
So good. It's like my favorite. It might be like top 5 movies of all time for me.
Really?
Might be top 5.
You just saw it and you liked it that much?
No, I've seen it twice.
Okay.
Yeah. I watched it like when it came out because Joe Jax recommended it to me. And I was like, this is amazing. And then I rewatched it. I'm like, yeah, it's just perfect.
Yeah.
It's so fucking good.
Dude, I was watching Dunkirk on the plane.
Dunkirk's fire.
I was overly caffeinated.
Nice.
Just getting
into World War II.
Bro, locked in. Mm-hmm. I felt like I was wearing a VR headset. Like we were 30,000 feet in the real sky, and I'm in Tom Hardy's plane. I was like, literally, he would dip, and I would go like this. I was like dipping with him. I was like a fully immersive experience.
That rules.
Dude, the movie ended, and Autumn was just reading her book, and I just leaned over. I was like, that fucking kicked ass. And I was like pinned against my seat. She was like, it looked like you were having a panic attack. I was like, I was on the verge. Yeah, it was awesome.
Barry Coogan.
It was great.
Yeah, it was great.
I loved it, dude. It was like, it was loud. It's an incredibly loud movie.
Yeah.
Like the music's loud.
Planes.
And the sound effects are loud.
Yeah.
It was great. And
no, I love Dunkirk. As a certified Nolan hater, it's good.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
I thought it was awesome.
Yeah, I just don't. I'm like, don't make Tenet. Just don't make it.
Don't
make it. I mean, I've watched bits and pieces of it. I've never seen the whole thing, but I'm like, why is this a thing?
My buddy who you'd love was just like ripping Interstellar a new one.
Really?
Yeah, it was.
I like Interstellar.
It was so funny. He's like, it doesn't make any fucking sense. It's retarded. It's like, it doesn't even make any sense.
Yeah, it does, dude. He has to go back in time to save the future. That's actually might be my favorite Nolan is Interstellar.
It's okay. I don't hate it. There's people that think it's like the best movie ever.
I don't think it's the best movie ever.
No.
It's a good movie.
Dunkirk's my favorite one. That was great.
Yeah, I love Dunkirk.
It was like I was like, this is what I want a suspense movie to be.
Yeah.
Like, this is a true thriller to me.
Yeah.
I was just fully on the edge of my seat.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
I mean, Interstellar's not even a thriller, though. It's sci-fi. It's just fully sci-fi.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think...
no, but like, I just mean Dunkirk was like, oh, this is what I want when I watch a thriller.
Yeah, yeah.
This was truly thrilling. And it was like the cinematography paired with those loud sound effects and the music and stuff. It just, you felt so locked into.
Right, you're on this fucking dinghy.
Yeah, I'm in the boat.
Yeah.
I'm in the plane.
Yeah.
It was so sick.
Yeah, it's
when
when they're stranded on the beach, dude. I'm like, oh fuck,
Yeah,
like, that sucks. That sucks so hard.
Yeah,
being stranded on that fucking beach. Yeah, when the fucking boat gets filled up with water right after they eat.
Yeah,
fucking brutal. That one guy who's like, I don't want to go in there, dude.
Yeah.
And they're like, what are you, fucking gay? There's fucking jam in here, you fucking homo. He's like, I don't know, we're still at war, fellas. I don't think I should have a snack right now. Yeah, that's really, it's awesome.
Cillian Murphy just casually kills Barry Keoghan.
Yeah.
What do they call him? What's his last name?
Keoghan.
He just casually kills him, and they just sweep it under the rug. It's just everybody's secret, because he's like a war hero. So they just like don't tell anybody that he killed him.
Well, I forgot that
They
part.
don't really tell him he killed him.
He does it on accident.
Very end.
He does it on accident.
He pushes him down the stairs of the boat.
Yes,
hits his head
yes. I was like, I remember him like ailing a head wound.
He dies.
Yeah,
fully dies.
Horrible.
Sick movie.
So good.
I was locked in. It was great.
Yeah, it's really good. Doesn't he stash away too, Kogan?
What do you mean?
He's like not supposed to be on the boat.
Yes,
but he wants because he loves his country so much. He wants
exactly.
To. Yeah, dude. I got this clip, man. It was fucking infuriating.
About what?
Just a World War II vet crying that we don't love our country anymore. I'm like, this is supposed to make me mad, right? I was like, this is designed to make me pissed off, right?
Just because it's like pure propaganda.
It's just like unadulterated, pure mainlining propaganda. And then I read the comments like, yeah, he's right. He's so right. Some guy who's like got a blacksmithing page. He's right. Like,
can you imagine if you thought if like your biggest qualm with America was the lack of patriotism?
I mean, crazy, dude. Crazy. Just an insane take. Like, look who fucking won.
Dude, Tim told me that Caitlyn Jenner was at his Thanksgiving, and she was like, "Nobody's patriotic anymore." That's her. Caitlin hates the lack of patriotism.
Everybody should love this country.
Nobody's patriotic anymore.
Nobody's patriotic anymore. I remember I won 17 gold medals. I was lauded as a hero.
Dude, me and him just bust into a Caitlin all the time. We'll be like in his car on the way to like the stand.
Yeah.
Like, Mommy loves the stand. Mommy's gonna do some comedy.
Nobody loves this country.
Mommy's gonna eat a burger at the stand. Nobody's patriotic anymore.
Nobody's patriotic.
Like sitting in his like stupid Bentley doing Caitlyn Jenner impressions on the way to do the most mundane thing ever.
That rules.
Mommy loves an oyster. Let's get some oysters.
Yeah, I mean, it's just insane. I can't believe. I just can't, dude. I mean, you can put the guy to bed. Don't film him.
Yeah.
He's like a 90,000 years old. He should not care. He shouldn't watch the news. He should not be aware of anything. He should be in a gorgeous cabin in the Smoky Mountains, sitting in a rocking chair, smoking a pipe, drinking a beer.
No, that's not how that ever ends.
I know.
They're on 6th Street.
They're on they're on like Fox News. I'm like, get this guy, put him in a chair. Why are you doling him out for your propaganda? It's actually extremely insensitive.
Yeah, unfortunately, a real veteran is like a borderline homeless January 6th rioter.
Oh yeah.
That's like
the Vietnam guys.
Yeah. The non-guys got a raw deal.
They got no legs.
Yeah.
They got track marks all over them.
For sure.
And there's Lieutenant Danning.
Yeah, 100%.
They're fully Lieutenant Danning.
Yeah, they're like amputated heroin addicts.
Right. And then that guy goes, the big problem in America is that we don't love it anymore. You go, what? Like, I mean, it's insane. It's
I also think for like a World War II vet, there was like a common enemy that the Allies had. There was somebody doing something objectively bad that threatened, the sanctity of the world, or the preservation of most countries' ways of life.
There was a supervillain.
Yeah, which
There's
is
not
unified.
supervillains anymore.
They're here.
Yeah,
they're in San Francisco.
They live in the Silicon Valley.
They're in Westlake Hills. Dude.
Yeah,
it's a tech psycho.
Yeah, for sure. No, they're the devil.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just crazy. That guy's crying about whatever, and I'm like, who pushed him into this fucking podcast studio? Yeah. I'm like, whoever did that should be like arrested for something. It should be elderly. Sure. It's elderly abuse. It's just, it ain't right.
No,
it ain't right. Yeah, and then, I mean, how can that guy say that, and then live through the war in Vietnam? He was like 30 when the war in Vietnam happened.
Oh, like.
I'm like, you saw a giant lie, and you still believe this?
Probably, but he's probably coming from a place where it's hard to think that it's a lie. It's probably hard to fight for the good guys in World War II, survive, see another war, and then go, this is bullshit. Like, to be that discerning is probably difficult.
You're right.
Yeah. You're really operating.
And you had you had Uncle Sam.
Yeah, dude, you have a pretty loaded pro-war deck in your head.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's like, it got us out of the Depression and we defeated Hitler.
Exactly. Yeah. That guy's going to go, this is clearly horseshit.
Yeah, but it's such an abstract, weirder war.
Yeah, I just don't think you're going to be discerning.
Yeah, you're right.
You're going to be so inherently
They probably
biased.
just didn't have, it's just probably like, what's it called, like hindsight bias? Like, in the moment, it was probably actually like a real hard thing to say about Vietnam.
It's just like every boomer going, like, nobody works hard anymore.
Right.
When my mom does this. Me and your father had no money, and we worked and paid off our loans and bought a house for you, and we, made a life for ourselves and blah, blah, like, she can't get out of that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
She has no ability to go, yeah, but, wages have increased like 28% and real estate's increased 800. Yeah,
right. You just like, all right, Mom, here's some math.
Yeah.
Like,
no.
Yeah, I mean, the average, I think they did, what is the average income in America? 80 grand?
Yeah.
Overall, it's average 80 grand.
I think it might not even be that. It might be like 65.
Yeah, but it's basically like 5 or 6 times the income is the housing price.
Yeah.
It's like not even close to that.
Well, the easiest way I've been able to articulate this is just saying if you tell a friend that someone you both know makes six figures, it still raises an eyebrow. People still go, wow. That probably shouldn't be the case.
No.
Given what like rent and real estate costs.
Yeah, it should be like $250,000.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like he makes $250,000 to go, whoa.
Nice.
But six figures shouldn't be.
It's kind of like you got to make like one of you has to make six figures if you want to buy like a decent house.
100%.
If you have a dual income home. If you have a single income home, you better make that.
My lady just got a six figure, granted, as you know, in the hundreds job.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's going to help with rent. That's my literal takeaway, is that's going to help with rent. In Texas.
Yeah, it's crazy.
We don't fucking live out in San Diego.
Yeah.
We're in the middle of the country.
Right.
That's going to help with rent.
Right.
Crazy.
Because still, where you'd want to live, it's going to cost 5-6x her income to buy a decent house.
100%.
Like where you rent, it's probably in that range.
Yeah. Yes.
I think
like where we are is weirdly. Actually, it's probably a good place to buy real estate.
Yeah,
because you could still get a nice little house for like $4 bills.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. But I'm like, I get really anxious thinking about it.
Yeah,
because like my goal, and I don't really think it's. I don't know. I get pretty negative when I think about it. But like in 18 months, be able to like buy a home. And I'm like, I don't think that's gonna happen. I mean,
you guys could buy one.
If you guys subscribe to the Patreon.
Yeah, that's our goal. Buy Christophe a house.
Yeah, it's easy.
Yeah.
So we're at what? We make about $400 a month now, $350.
We just got to 100x that. And Christophe can buy a house.
Right, so we got about 60 patrons
so we
now.
need 100 times the
So
patrons.
we just need 6,000. So more patrons than the... So 3x the patrons that the podcast has views.
Yes.
And we're good.
Yes.
So, hey.
So if each of you tell 2 friends and then
they
all
tell
of you
1,000
and your friends get together, and every person who's ever heard of us also pays us money. Every person who's seen our faces, if they could all give us money.
Right. I did the open mic at the at Creek the other night, and I was begging for the audience to subscribe to my Patreon after. I waited outside the front door for the show to end, and I had a QR code for my Patreon. And I said, please, I need to buy a home. I got 18 months to buy a home. Yeah, so just, subscribe and give me some time here. But I'm like, it's not
I'm a stock market guy. I just put money I have is in the market. And because also with the house, it's like, I'm not handy. So I'm going to have to not only learn a lot of stuff, but there's going to be expenses.
Right.
Yeah. It would be nice to own a house.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
It's not going to happen in 2 years. Just bums me out. I'm like, I'm going to be 31.
If you have savings, you should invest all of it.
Really?
Or most of it.
Okay.
Yes. Because it's losing money by sitting there in your bank.
I don't have that much in savings.
Okay, but let's say theoretically if a person had 50 grand in savings. 40. Okay, 40. What? They're leaving $4 grand. They're leaving $4 grand on the table in the first year by not just putting it into the stock market.
Okay. I could do
if you say
I could do 8. How's 8?
I'm just saying, I know how cheap your rent is right now.
Yeah, it's dirt.
If you saved 70 grand, you could pay your rent off of the interest.
Yeah.
Off of the dividends.
Right. So
what it makes for existing
more dollars to do that.
Look, you got to start somewhere. This is just me selling you the fraudulent American dream.
Oh, it's horseshit. It's all horseshit. I mean, I've bitched about it before. It's assuming your money will be worth less and that billionaires will make more money. Those are the most sure investments in this fucking country.
I made
stock market and housing.
Made a little bag off crypto though.
No, you didn't.
Swear to God.
What?
I had old crypto sitting in there, and then I saw my buddy's younger brother. Shout out Colin O'Keefe, who's a semi-pro soccer player.
Lit.
O'Keefe, love him. Love Colin. And he posted that this crypto called XRP had like skyrocketed, and I was like, I think I have that. Checked, 10x'd.
Wow.
Got out,
Made $1,000.
made like $3,000.
Hell yeah.
It's great.
Let's go, dude.
Back from my crypto obsession days.
Nice. Did you lose a bunch?
No, I lost a bunch on day trading. That's gone. That will never
We're
come
not day
back.
trading.
No. The money's gone. That money is dead.
Nice.
It belongs to other people now. You can't get it back.
Yeah.
No, it's gone. That was my problem because Sean Finnerty, at the time, he's sober now. At the time
Drunk friend.
My drunk Irish comedian friend who I would play pool with and get blackout drunk in a Puerto Rican billiards bar convinced me. I was taking his notes on how to invest my money.
Nice.
And
it's like, you gotta buy potatoes. Stew is way up this quarter.
You got to invest in stew.
I'm telling ya. The Irish Rover is coming back.
Yeah. The real money to be made is in low quality beef.
You gotta know, I'm telling you gotta buy land in Dunkirk or whatever the fuck.
You gotta buy rotting lamb shank.
Mutton is gonna be huge.
Mushy carrots. That's where the money is.
Ugly women are at an all-time low.
Fat slags.
Maggies are way down this quarter.
You got to put your money in chubby Elizabeths.
Room temperature beer.
Yeah, we were just drinking like 130 ounces of beer in a sitting, and he convinced me to put thousands of dollars of my money into day trading, and I lost most of it. But that's okay.
That's all
you
right.
live and you learn.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do. I hate money. I hate it so fucking much. I just want so much more
of it.
I just need like so much more money. I'm such a bitch though. I have money. Everything's fine. Yeah. But at the same time, I'm like, dude, I would be happier.
Yeah.
I'm at an economic place where I would be happier.
For sure.
There's no fucking ambiguity about this.
I agree with you. I will say, little pushback. Think I was happier when I was broke. Because
I don't want to hear it.
But let me explain.
But I'm not broke.
But I was also much younger. Because I didn't think about my future ever. Yeah. So I was like truly living in the moment.
Well, there's no assumption that you need money. What it is that I'm pushing 30.
That's the problem.
It's pushing 30 and going, I have no money in my bank account.
I'll say being 21 and broke was more fun than being 30 and not broke.
Yeah. I'm decidedly...
But being 30 broke is tough.
No, the idea that in the next X amount of years, let's say 5 years, I want to get married and buy a house and have children. It's like, I'm fucked. I'm fucked. It's not going to happen. I go, honey, hope you want 2 dogs. Hey, 2 dogs in a rental ain't bad.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
No, it's fucked. No, I just need to 10x my income.
Yeah, you really do need to like...
No, I need to 3x it. If I'm being honest, I need to 3x
You need to like pet and dinner date your way out of having a kid.
Yeah.
When you're like a broke man.
Yeah, it sucks.
You need to go... you need to dangle a kitten.
Yeah.
And like
I've thought of how much like
you need like a kitten and a shrimp cocktail to dangle in front of your girlfriend for 4 years until you get your shit together.
Our cat is our surrogate child, and I'm taking her out for Asian fusion tonight.
Yeah, exactly.
It's literally happening. Yeah. That's what we're doing today. Taking her out for Asian fusion, like as a child.
Yes, beautiful baby.
I do love her so much.
In your image,
I do love her so much.
She's a great cat.
I took a really funny picture of her this morning. Hold on, I'll show you.
Let me see.
She was like, she had her head tucked into the cover, and I pulled it back.
I'll
put that on.
See, that's great.
I'll put that on the. She was like, right. She's like, you know what I love about Leica? She's not the cutest cat, but she is like, she has a beauty to her. She's an elegant cat.
She's a cute fucking. I like your cat.
Yeah, she's great.
I got a pick. Please.
Don't try to out cat pick me right now.
I got a cute.
You want to go band for band on cat picks? You want to go ban on cat pics?
Bruh. Tucking his tail up, covering his face.
Oh.
Come on. Telling you, dude.
Your cat is really cute. He just has a bad personality.
He's a cute ass cat.
He's so sweet.
He's a little needy guy. All right.
Like,
Fucking.
This is terrible podcasting.
We're just silently bringing up cat pictures to compare.
I found her asleep like this.
That's fucking great. That's great.
I'll put that up.
It's like a fat guy watching the game.
Yeah, it's so funny, dude. She was in the corner on her back.
Dude,
it's so funny.
She's in Jets fan position.
Yeah, there should be like pizza boxes and like wing carcasses all around her. She's so sweet, dude.
Dude, speaking of which, I mean, Josh.
Oh my God,
dude, he's the great white hope.
I love that fucking cracker so much.
I love him more than words can describe.
Yeah,
I feel such strong feelings about that man, Josh Allen, baby. What a fucking game!
Shouts out. Did you hear what Amari Cooper said about playing for the Bills?
That he's been filled with joy for the first time in a while.
And then he does that play?
Yeah.
I'm like, that's a joyous play.
Joyous play.
That's a play of joy.
There's no more...
That's backyard, snow, pitch and catch.
I'm convinced that Josh is the most entertaining athlete to watch.
You know, you might be right. I had this Shohei take with you. I think it's a lot closer than I let on.
I think it's fair to say that Shohei's accomplishments are more impressive. But just pure bang for your buck entertainment value.
But, you know, that is more impressive.
Nothing.
But the question is, there's something to the physical aspect of... Because as far as finesse goes, a quarterback is equal to a pitcher. You got to think like it's a similar... You know what I mean?
Yeah, I just think the amount of times that if you watch a good Bills game that you're going to go,
oh my God.
Oh,
yeah.
It's unbeaten.
Right.
The guy is just through the roof in terms of...
Or you're going to pop off like I mean, I watched that play, I could not believe it. It was like unbelievable.
Dude, the Superman dive to the pylon.
So sick.
Unreal.
So sick, dude.
Dude, he hurdles guys.
Yeah.
He bowls them over.
Yeah.
He's just a big psychopath.
Yeah. And he can just throw it 80 yards in the air.
Dude, he's a freak. I love him so much.
Shouts out to him and Haley. Congratulations.
Yeah, congrats, Josh.
Congrats, Josh and Haley.
Josh and Haley.
Getting
Friends of
married
the pod.
to a piece.
Yeah, an absolute piece.
Absolute piece.
His ex-girl is pissed off. I don't know if you saw.
No.
She said that she dates an owner now, and she's glad she's not with a brain-dead, CTE-riddled athlete anymore.
No.
Swear to God, yeah. And then she did the old, I got hacked.
What?
So first she deleted the comment, and it was like, I got hacked.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
you think he's CTE riddled?
I mean, he takes some big hits. I wouldn't be shocked.
Didn't Tua just get hit again, too?
No, Trevor Lawrence got his
Trevor
head
Lawrence
blown
got
off
fucking railed.
Yeah.
Fuck that guy, dude.
by a Palestinian king, Aziz Al-Shair.
Is he Palestinian?
He's a very pro-Palestine guy, but he's black.
Is he a black Israelite?
I think so. Aziz Al-Shair.
Do that fucking idiot.
Yeah, I got a hot take about that. I don't know. I don't know. He slid kind of late, I thought.
He did not slide that late.
He didn't slide that late. Okay, fine. But
He didn't slide that late. Okay, dude, if you're ready to make the open field tackle on a quarterback scrambling, coming at you, and he dove down at him.
yeah.
So he saw the slide and dove down.
Sure.
He should be tossed from the game, 15-yard penalty.
3-game suspension is steep.
That's steep.
Steep.
I say tossed 15 yards, fine.
Yes.
I don't know about 3 games.
3 games is aggressive.
But they are making an example out of him.
Yeah.
Okay, you can never do that.
He lopped his fucking head off.
Yeah, he fucking threw a fucking... Well, the thing is, like, it's always what happens.
I go back and forth about this, because in one... I like... There's a social contract when you're an NFL player.
Yeah.
You know you're doing something dangerous. It's like being a UFC fighter. It's a dangerous sport by
but it's
nature.
actually much more dangerous than being a UFC fighter.
Absolutely. Yeah, way more.
It's way more. These guys fight every 6 months.
Yeah, for sure.
These guys fucking fight for 17 weeks a year.
The other thing is, with the pussification of the league, we are going to get to see Josh Mahomes, Herbert, Burrow play for until they're 40.
That's
which
better.
rules. Yeah, because it was...
But fuck Mahomes. How many times has he deked on a fucking slide? How many times, dude? He did it the other game when everyone's like, "Oh my god, he had a 40-yard run!" It's like he pretended to go out of bounds.
I know.
He's at the first yard line. He's like, "I'm going to psych." No, I'm like, you can't do that, bro.
That needs to be a penalty.
That should be a penalty.
Definitely.
Should be a fine. It should be. You got to be benched.
I will say, as a Bills fan who went through a 17-year playoff drought, it's nice to see our guy get some calls.
Oh yeah,
because Josh can get some calls.
Josh got some calls.
People, he gets accused of flopping. Does he flop? Perhaps.
He's a competitive. He's a competitor. He's got to flop.
It's such a vindicating feeling to go, we have a guy who's such a big-time player that he gets calls.
Yeah.
After being a Bills fan during the Brady era,
yeah,
to have the guy that gets the calls,
pretty nice.
Rules.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
Kicks ass. Yeah. And fuck the Chiefs. Everybody hates them. They almost lost to the goddamn Raiders.
And then, bro, that snap.
Brutal.
I'm like, what's going on? There's been like 4 games like that this year.
Yeah, it's dark magic. It's evil. It's evil personified.
Do you think they get so... Do you think there's part of it that's like they get the yips because they're like, we're going to beat the Chiefs and we're the Raiders? Like they bug out?
Yeah, our coach did it twice.
Okay.
Definitely.
I've seen that.
Yeah. I think so.
Yeah, you're right. Because then that's when they went for 2.
Yeah.
Or they went for it on 4th. What did they do? They had a riskier play towards the end to like, let's for sure win.
Yes.
Yeah.
They went for it on 4th down, and Josh ran it in for a touchdown.
That's
game
right.
Sealing.
Yeah. Dude, he's had like 12 plays this year that are just like...
ridiculous.
Like, I'm like, oh yeah, that one,
Unreal, dude.
I just love him so much.
He's so great. You got him in fantasy.
He's so
jealous.
Sick. I got 28 points.
Cook. You got Cook, too.
Cook went crazy last game.
This is the best team we've had, which is crazy because this was supposed to be like a rebuild, retool year.
Yeah. Well, you picked up Amari.
That was huge. And
Shakir's still great.
And Keon's good.
Keon's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's sick.
And we're healthy on D.
Yeah, dude, defense is great.
And our GM is good at finding little diamonds in the rough. Terrell Bernard, Christian Benford, late round pick, Taron Johnson, late round pick. These are studs.
Yeah. That's sick, dude.
Rousseau is a first rounder.
I'm happy for you, dude.
Nasty.
I become a half a Bills fan just from you and from my fantasy team.
They're so fun.
Because I'm a Bucks fan, but it's like the NFC South is such a fucking joke that I can't even really care. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're like, oh, we're 6-6, we're number 1.
Yeah.
The fuck?
No.
We barely beat the Panthers.
It feels dishonorable.
It's like, who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
You're gonna squeak into the playoffs or not? It doesn't even matter. I love Baker, but he's like way overpriced. I think. I mean, we got him for like way too much fucking money.
You think so?
I forget how much. I think
isn't it $30 a year? That's pretty cheap right now.
I thought it was.
Dude, Trevor Lawrence and Tua make like $55 million a year.
Okay, that's retarded.
It's crazy.
Tua the fucking.
Trevor Lawrence is bad. He makes. I think his contract is 5 years, $275 million.
Jesus,
insane. He's not a good player.
Yeah,
he's a bad player.
I'm starting to get the boomer take of like they make too much money.
Yeah.
Give me money. I don't have any money.
I wonder if there's going to be like a QB middle class that'll develop. Like,
there's not a lot of amazing quarterbacks now. I think there's 2. Herbert or not Herbert?
Nah, Herbert's nasty.
Herbert's
there's
6.
5.
So maybe
there's 5. Josh,
Allen, Jackson,
Mahomes, Herbert, Burrow.
Yeah, you're right. There's 5. But I even think among those 5, Mahomes is not playing well this season.
No, he's not. I mean, I just feel I think Josh is better. I just actually
and Lamar's better.
Lamar's nasty.
Lamar's the coolest fucking player. I mean, he's up there with Josh. To me, those are the 2 that I'm like, these are the 2 coolest quarterbacks in the league.
He's so sick.
I love Lamar. I love watching him play. He's fucking awesome.
There's Allen can just get you a bucket.
Yeah.
Dude, like you don't like a crucial late game 3rd and 9. In the back of your head, you go, he's just going to run for 11
yards. Yeah, it's sick. Yeah, it's great. No, he's a fucking pleasure to watch.
He's a freak, dude.
He's a pleasure to watch.
Yeah, the NFC South is funny because Atlanta's the best team, and Kirk Cousins has aged out of football throwing.
Yeah, he sucks.
Mid-season.
Yeah.
He was great in the beginning of the season, and his
he's
old arm just fell apart like week 8.
Yeah. You know what I do love watching is the what's his name? The guy who's like a half a quarterback, half a tight end on the Saints.
Taysom Hill.
He's a blast to watch.
He's great. He's like 35 years old.
Yeah, it's crazy.
He's great.
He's so sick. I love that guy.
Jordan Love's fun to watch.
Jordan Love is sick.
He plays like a psycho, too.
Yeah, he's awesome.
He just guns it into tight little windows. Sometimes it's a pig, sometimes it's a tutty.
Jordan Love's
fun.
Yeah, he's hype. I think Hurts is kind of a fraud.
Definitely.
He's kind of a fraud.
100%.
I don't know. I like
CJ Stroud really fell off a cliff.
Right, he was so sick.
Fucking podcast boy.
He's on a podcast?
He just podcasts all the time.
Really?
Little podcaster.
DM him.
Podcaster.
He's only in Houston.
Yeah, I don't like my athletes podcasting too much.
Yeah.
A rare appearance.
Travis and
Gay.
they have a full dedicated podcast.
Gay, this is gay. I can admit that. I love doing it with you. It's not manly. I don't want
Dude,
my
if I was
athlete
breaking touchdown records, I wouldn't be here.
Yeah, no. If I'm doing this, then a professional athlete should not be. That's what I think.
Yeah.
And not because, like, they should be above doing what I do. That's what I think.
Maybe when they retire.
That's fine. Then you're chilling. But an active, high-level professional athlete,
It's weird.
an all-pro, should not be doing the same
Well,
thing
the
you
thing that
and
sucks
me
now is
and
that they're
Tommy
leaving
Pope-
money on the table. If you're like a star, if Patrick Mahomes put out a 30-minute podcast a week, he'd make an extra $6 million a year.
I know, it's so gay. I think the Kelsey sold theirs for $100 million.
Insane.
Like the licensing. It's like a $100 million licensing deal. I think
nuts.
they're actually making more money. I think Kelsey might make more podcasting than he does.
He's on an
playing.
FX show. He's just fully in some shitty, spooky FX show.
Dude, I was hearing that they were... I think they have him in it now, but before that, he was apparently being considered for like almost every leading man role in Hollywood. Like he was making the short list for like Guardians of the Galaxy. Like they were like, why have Chris Pratt when we could just have Taylor Swift's boyfriend, who's a tight end? It's so gay.
I think he's in Happy Gilmore too, I think.
It also shows how easy acting is. Like just to be in a movie. I'm not saying to be like Daniel Day-Lewis,
right?
But I think to be a he did the job actor. I mean, a CTE riddled lunatic, tight end wigger.
To have one scene in a movie where you're like, you're the silly bellhopper, you're the silly fucking whatever.
Yeah, but I'm like, there's part of me that's like, I think Travis Kelce can do what like Chris Hemsworth can do.
Yeah.
Like whatever level of acting Chris Hemsworth does, I'm pretty sure a tight end.
I don't know. He was pretty sick in Mad Max.
Yeah.
Mad Max Fury Road was fucking fire.
It was. Yeah.
And Furiosa, fire. Furiosa was fire.
I don't know. I think that...
No, I know what you're saying. I agree. To be like an
I mean?
action star, I mean, Schwarzenegger did it.
This is what I'm
saying.
saying.
O.J. Simpson did it.
Yeah, dude.
Killer.
I think just athletes.
Yeah.
The Rock.
Yeah.
Just a fucking wrestler.
Terry Crews. He's like,
Crews.
I'll never be a D end.
Yeah.
So I gotta be an actor.
Going to be a hyper successful actor.
Hyper successful gooning actor. Dude, I loved hearing his like. Maybe I didn't love it. That's a bit. Maybe you'll pause. But him talking about just gooning on the set of his first movie. So funny.
And that like his Me Too thing was like old Jewish guys were grabbing his big black cock.
Yeah.
That was his like
What a
his
nightmare.
like victim story.
What a nightmare.
Which like is fucked up. I feel for the guy.
Harvey Weinstein's like, come here, let me fucking
Yeah,
touch
let
you.
me see your big black hog.
Oh, it's as big as they say. He's like, I'm gonna go goon. I need to goon this away. Yeah, he like, I forget what movie it was. It was some action movie. He had like a small role.
Shows you how much like people want fame that he didn't just murder them with his bare hands.
Right.
Like that he didn't.
Well,
just,
we live in a civilized society.
Yeah, I know, but like you think like he should like strangle Scott Rudin to death.
Yeah. He should.
Yeah.
I mean, if he did it, I'd go, yeah, don't touch his dick.
Right? I would support that.
100%.
It's a comeback story.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah. I mean, if someone like, I don't know, it's like that movie, you ever see The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo?
Yeah.
She rapes him back.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you're like, hell yeah.
Sweet.
Let's go.
Cool.
Yeah, fuck that guy. Yeah. But he was on the set of his first movie. He he only had to like shoot for 3 days, but they put him up in this hotel in like Vancouver or something for a week, and he said he was so anxious that he couldn't leave the set because he was just like afraid that he's like, what if they need me? Like, you know, like so wanted to be an actor so bad he couldn't leave the set.
Yeah.
So he just stayed an extra like 4 days in the hotel and gooned to like VHS porn in like 1998. He just gooned for hours and hours every day.
Just between lifting sessions is gooning.
Dude, it's funny to want to be an actor that badly. I guess I just don't.
Yeah, I mean, but we live in such a different economy than they do that part of me goes, dude, if that was the norm in stand-up, we'd do it.
I did it. Yeah, we would do it. I just did it once, and it's fun-ish. It's just stand-up's so much more fun. It's not even close.
Right, but if you had as much, let's say you have a totally different personality, if you have as much, and the actor's mindset is a lot different. I mean, it's like...
Sure.
You know what I think? A big part of it is like those days on sets and the collaborative nature and the cog and the machine feeling of being an actor in the movie industry is not. I mean, before a certain time, you could not have any friends and be a successful stand-up.
Yeah.
It had nothing to do with anybody else.
No.
Which I kind of like it now that it's more social and that it's more podcast.
But like, how many friends did Brian Regan have?
Right. It's like he doesn't have
He's just on the road alone building markets.
Right.
Like, he was just
Dan
crush a million times. But, like, Regan did it. Dane even, like, utilized the internet even in the early days. Like, Brian Regan, he built, like, he and I think Gaffigan would just murder over and over in Cincinnati until the 7th time they went. They're just, like,
they sold it out.
2,000 people had word of, like, literally crushing until word of mouth spreads.
Yeah.
I remember hearing an interview with Chris Rock where he was talking about that. He's like, you kill on a Thursday. He was like, hey, you kill on a Thursday. Friday sold out. They're already adding shows on Saturday. I'm like, that does not
happen at all.
But I think back in the day, it was like if you got like a standing ovation on a Thursday, like you would sell out Saturday.
Sell out the weekend.
Yeah.
And then the next time you can't, you come 6 months later and you could do it. Yeah.
That'd be kind of sick for it to just be like pure killing
more
base.
Meritocracy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was more
Like,
when touring was like the single most. I mean, you have guys like Stanhope who just did it to death. And then eventually you just have a cult following.
Yeah. Touring now is insane, though.
It's ridiculous.
It's nuts.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
All right, you want to wrap things up?
Let's do it.
I'm hungry.
Yeah.
Right. See you guys later.
See
Thanks
you, boys.
for
Subscribe to
switching
the
over
Patreon. Another episode, another hour. We get 2 extra episodes.
2 extra hours.
Per week.
Check it out.
And you get your name in the end of this episode,
yes.
huh, fellas?
Which I forgot to do last week. I'm sorry.
We love you.
We love you. Bye-bye.